Hello everybody, this is Gabriel. So this is the beginning of March, and let's have a quick look through the asset classes of the futures market. So let's start here with the S&P, the US equity index. Well, as you all know, we had this huge impact of the corona. That's a corona dip, so to say, right? So this last week. This last week here on the weekly chart, we can nicely see how that created a really big, large red bar. And that looks really scary here on the daily chart, right? But in order to put things into context, well, we actually have to look at the higher time frame. So here looking at the weekly, monthly, and the quarterly chart, and looking at and starting with the quarterly, well, we don't even see this impact, right? It's just hidden in between the other bars. So it's nothing extraordinary looking from a quarterly time frame. Looking at the monthly, well, we see a red bar, which is this one, which is fairly big, but compared to the other big bars during the last couple of years, it's nothing extraordinary either. Right. So the scary thing is that this pullback happened in a very short time, like within the last week. That's the scary thing. But overall, the pullback is is within its normal within its normal range. What we see as well, and that's the most important thing, is where did the pullback stop? And it stopped right at the 21 moving average. Remember, the 21 is very important dynamic support, and we've seen that during the last couple of years. Whenever price came and touched the 21 or tested it, which means when price goes beyond, there was always a strong reaction on the other side. We can nicely see it here around these touches. So it's like a rubber band that gets stretched on the downside and then release, and we see the upside move. Same thing here, as you might remember. This was in like end of last year. We had this big sell-off. No, it's 2 years ago. We had this big sell-off, and that was a test of the 21 as well. It was a big test. We get a big bounce back. Now here we are again at a test. It's not even a big test. This can even go lower and test the 21 even stronger. In order this monthly chart will still be in a very strong uptrend. Well, same the quarterly. So if we don't go like beyond the 2,320, this last dominant higher low, we are still nicely uptrending, and I'm not concerned at all. Here on the weekly perspective, we actually had an S2 pattern, a turtle pattern. And well, this being the midline is a very important level on this pattern. What we see now is well, we get towards the midline, and testing the midline like this level is something that happens very often with this pattern. So I'm not concerned at all. I'm still very bullish. We might get a second. Well, we've got a pullback here now to the upside. We might get a second leg down. So my eye is here on the monthly and the quarterlies, or the monthly. I want to see whether the 21 dynamic support holds, and so far I've no doubt that it will not. Now let's move to the metals here, gold. As you might remember, gold has triggered as well here an S2 signal on the monthly chart, and it has nicely trended upwards so far. So the corona dip is kind of well, this was this last day. That was Friday. That provided a big push down. And we have got another S2 pattern here, and this pullback went directly to a touch of the midline and got rejected here. So from a pattern perspective, that's a very normal pullback that happens all the time. Obviously, yeah, it is scary because that was a one-day pullback of a big magnitude. But overall, we are still nicely uptrending, and we are within this early, the beginning of this early uptrend that might go much higher than the last high, which has been like just around the $2,000 per ounce. So I'm still bullish here on precious metals. Now, Palladium is a bit different. Well, you can see here on the monthly and the quarterly chart, we're in a big exhaustion move. So price cannot stay that overextended from the moving averages for a long time. We see this big up spike. I had some couple of great trades trading Palladium long, but well, the first warning sign comes in here on the 240 minute chart. So we've basically made a new high here, just slightly, and then prices got rejected. So we should actually have drove prices higher here, making a stop run move. And that didn't happen at all. Like price tested this high, went slightly higher, and then fell apart. So from well, this gives me a lot of cautionary questions are coming up, and we are way overextended. So it might well be that we see for a couple of months or even a couple of quarters that we see a pullback, like a reduction in price of palladium. And this is the copper future and the HG, and copper is always like an early warning indicator if a recession is nearby, recession or a depression, because copper reacts on the downside very strongly if this is so. So you can see here on the daily, like the corona, there was basically no corona impact like on the downside, and this tells me that there's actually not a big risk that we are moving into a recession or even a depression. So the copper indicator tells me, well, we're overall down. That's there's no doubt about. So prices might go lower, but the corona impact doesn't seem to have a big big influence on the global economy. Let's move to the energies now. Here, crude oil has a very big contracts. Now I'm talking for many months now that the crude oil is going lower. We're in a clear downtrend, and we're at a very critical level here. I guess you can see it on the monthly chart here. We're at a very important support level, and it has been tested and touched several times. Well, right now we made a slightly new low below the previous low. So this is building pressure here on the monthly chart, or you can see it as well on the quarterly. And I'm seeing crude oil prices much lower towards the $20 level. So it's always a great charting situation to trade these important breaks on a higher time frame. Because if you get the chance to trade a lower time frame, let's say a 5-minute chart, and you ride the break of a monthly chart lower, well, you can have a big R multiple, and that's what I'm looking for at times. So this is a natural gas. Natural gas is always a great contract to trade because it's very volatile on the upside and on the downside. And we had a very good couple of trading opportunities, like in all three systems. On the daily chart, we're clearly downtrending. I mean, on all higher time frames, we are clearly down from the weekly to the monthly to the quarterly. I've no doubt that that natural gas will go lower. It's hard to believe, but it will certainly go below the 150 mark. We always get like strong moves in trend direction, and then we get big recoveries, like big pullbacks, and you can trade both directions on the lower time frame. So let's have a look here at the interest rate future as an example. That's a 30-year US T bond. So on the US T bond, well, we see clearly here this up move. So that's a corona impact, right? So there's flights to quality based on fear that something really bad might happen to the economy. So people are buying bonds, 30-year T bonds, basically. And we can see it here as well on the weekly. Well, we've got this nice up move, but it's in an overall uptrend. So it's not really a surprise that we're moving higher. Same on the monthly. On the monthly, it doesn't even seem something special happening, right? Or on the quarterly, we're just making a new high. And this, well, this chart has been uptrending very strongly and very smoothly for more than 20 years. So this last move, which is due to the corona fear, it's nothing special either. We're just moving higher, and interest yields are getting lower. So this is it for this monthly trend scan. I'm clearly seeing the corona impact, especially on the US equities, but it doesn't seem to be long lasting. It might actually be a great opportunity to get in on a lower level to ride the great uptrend. Well, it's too early, I think, still to get in. I'm always waiting for a pattern, a long pattern to establish, but I'm stalking and I'm looking to get in again. Thank you.